I got to sort of the right place. Maybe down at those lights. At least they didn't dump us in the middle of nowhere. Well, he has dumped us in the middle of nowhere, but that's alright. Managed to make it up with the porter, well, security guard not speaking any English and us not speaking any Spanish. It's actually not too bad. We've got a balcony as well. Outside. And a hammock. So we sort of got there because the Uber driver didn't have any English either, so we got dropped off on the right side of the road. He just stopped and he just started shrugging his shoulders, and we were like, oh, okay, cool, we'll deal with it from here. And then we went over the other side of the road. Nope, that's evens. Come back over here's odds. All good. So Mexico City for a couple of days. This is exciting. Someone's got crabs over here. Ready to the taco. Dinner number one. By the old ruins. Seems to be a lot of people coming this way. Wonder why that is. Right. We're going to check out the old part of the city. We're just putting the mask on because the lungs are actually playing up and they're getting a bit, lots of coughing. So I'm going to find a mask as well. So yeah, lots of pollution. But this is pretty cool. This is where we're going to spend the day.
The purpose of this is so that his abdomen is exposed, because again, we need to get the mortality quickly.
So this used to be an ancient city, Tenochtitlan, but not an Aztec. The Mexicans call them something else. And when the Spanish came along, they just basically destroyed everything, killed all the natives, and then built a Spanish city on top. So these are the ruins. I believe this is where they used to do some sacrifices. So yeah, so this is what's underneath Mexico City. Building on a lane. Lots of buildings are on a lane around here and sinking into the ground, including the church over there. Starting to fall over. They all make work on the cathedral. It's amazing how much Spanish you end up picking up just from speaking English. It's quite impressive. Palacio Nacional, so National Palace. So this is a Catholic cathedral, I believe. I had some problems with some earthquakes here, so...
The cross fell down from up there.
Ah, the cross fell down. Was that where they used to go up and you could pay to go up and have a look?
Yes, I don't think you can go up anywhere.
No, because of...
The cross that was on the top here, the one that fell down.
Ah, right, yep. Stonework on... And this is just one part of the cathedral. It's just amazing. Even the woodwork is just incredible. And it's quite a large building. So the cathedral. I did take a video of the steps. We overheard one of the guides, because we didn't get a guide. We overheard one of the guides saying that the old, larger part of the cathedral and the newer part, when I say newer, it's still a couple hundred years old, are sinking, and they're sinking at a different rate because of the aquifers and stuff. A lot of the buildings here are sinking, so they're having to add a step each year to get between the two cathedrals, or the two parts of the cathedral, because one's sinking faster than the other. I think back to Notre Dame, where they had the big fire, and you know, they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars fixing Notre Dame, and you know, pretty quickly as well. Whereas a beautiful cathedral like that, being in a poorer country, is just left to slide and sink, and it was a gorgeous place. So yeah, so that's what the story was with those with the steps.
Features are a wee bit different.
Just a little bit. The palace. Mel asking for vegetarian. Museum of Medicine. Courtyard of the Museum of Medicine. Crap loads of cops around, like as in like every 30-40 metres there was a cop, there were security guards. I don't know whether that's just because it was a bit of a dodgy area. Markets were like full on. I didn't actually feel unsafe or that anyone was going to pickpocket me or anything the whole time, but I guess it's where you go. Whole lot of dodgy cars. Taxis were like more bog than metal. The buses were no brake lights. In fact, there was no brake lights on the taxis either, so definitely Uber. Although when we came over to Roma, which was where we were starting, the taxis and buses and stuff were a lot higher quality. Like, they're actually nice, clean, tidy, running efficiently, etc., etc. So it depends on where you go in the city, but if you go, and I highly recommend you go over and explore in and around where the palace and stuff is. It's just, it's crazy. We had, I had tacos. Mel didn't because there was no vegetarian option, but the normal story, you always go and eat where the locals were eating, and this thing was packed full of locals. It was just on the side of the road, and you just pointed out, and it was dirt cheap. It ended up being like about 30 cents New Zealand for the 2 tacos I had, and they were nice enough to fill me for lunch, so no, it was all good. So there's some other dodgy stuff as well, but mind you, Mel got an orange juice and she got some mango and everything was fine. So the second thing is there's a whole lot of free stuff here. We went to the Museum of Medicine, which would have cost, you know, money back home. There was, you know, it was all set up for labs and medical things and what have you, and that was free. And yeah, the cathedral was free, although we did donate because there's a story behind the cathedral and what's happening to it. So yeah, a heap of free stuff. So just get out there and get involved, and Mexico's awesome. It's fantastic. Third thing I'd like to say is you probably want to bring a mask. I've ended up with just a chest problem, and I'm not feeling sick, but I'm just coughing all the time and all that stuff. I reckon it's the pollution. And driving back to here yesterday, you could see it in the air and stuff as well. I think it's coffee. Right, so if you're wanting to use the bikes, there's heaps of them here. So I'm just going to get the card to now. So make sure you download the app to start off with, because it asks you a whole lot of questions about driver's licenses and stuff. I just put my New Zealand driver's license in and it was happy. Scan the card, the credit card, and yeah, scan the QR, and you can sign in for like a day or a week or so, as long as each trip isn't longer than 25 minutes. You're all good. So it's actually not too hard to use. You'll learn that one very quickly. It's the toilets. It's 10:20, and those things don't open till 10 o'clock in Mexico City. So all these stalls, some of them are setting up, most of them are still closed, but I imagine it'll be busy later on. So we came early to try and beat the heat and the crowds. We're off to the castle, up on the hill somewhere, up there. In those trees. So they'll take the big bags off you, which they haven't done yet. It goes in the lobby, and then there's a cash line and a line for credit cards to get your tickets. So when you get your tickets, you need to get a token for the locker if you're going to put your bag in. So back over there. So you go through, get your tickets to enter, and if you want to use the locker, you need to get a token then, and then you've got keys and stuff there. So otherwise you're going to have to do what Mel's done and go back and get a token. Okay, follow the instructions. Don't click it, lift the handle, click it and click it and click it again, otherwise you're going to have to go and pay another 10 pesos. And those instructions do end up coming out in English as well. There we go, up at the castle. It is quite nice getting splashed by the water. Yes, chips. Chandelier. Joys of coming early. Ooh, you can get a Mexican fighting mask. Well, there was carrots, onions, some kind of beans, and then the chippies at the bottom. So we're in the Museum of Anthropology. Got a couple of hours, although you can take a long time to be here. So yes, we'll have a bit of a look around. It was about $8 each, New Zealand, 90 pesos. Getting cooled down. The wind's coming this way, it's blowing us a bit.
Oh, that's
wetter.
nice. So good.